My name is Maya, and welcome to my channel, Cranley Place, where I'm posting content on scarf style, knot tutorials, and more. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to be notified of new videos, which I'm publishing weekly. Really, I did not expect to be doing a fifth installment about the women's Spring-Summer 2022 scarf collection from Hermès. But it seems like every time I look, there are different options available. So in this video, I'll share some of the designs that caught my attention, and as always, cover a bit about the background and the artists behind them. This design was originally conceived in 1984 and is testament to man's dreams of taking flight, starting with Leonardo da Vinci in the 15th century and with experimentation really taking off, no pun intended, during the Industrial Revolution at the end of the 18th century. Dubigeon has here compiled 18 objects, from scientific to eccentric, hot air balloons, airships, flying ships, and more, which showcase the research carried out until the airplane was introduced at the start of the 20th century as a means of aerial transport. With these double-faced scarves, there is no wrong side, which is amazing. And I've only seen this 90 silk twill in one colorway so far, which is wonderfully summery. So we'll see what else becomes available. Here's a design originally from 1977 by Christiane Vauzelles, in which she showcased this majestic tiger flanked by two palms. Now, as a double-sided 90cm silk twill carré, it's reprised in new colors on one side and redesigned with a ballpoint pen and zoomed-in effect on the other. I've seen this scarf in at least 4 colorways, all of which have contrast hems. Incidentally, Bengal tigers are among the biggest wild cats alive today, measuring up to 10 feet long, including the tail, and weighing up to 350 pounds. They are also listed globally as endangered on the IUCN's Red List of Threatened Species, with the Malaysian and Sumatran subspecies listed as critically endangered. This is another reissue from Pierre, which reportedly was inspired by a French cookbook published in 1873. Le Livre de Patisserie was the 4th book by a son of a famous Parisian pastry chef, whose shop was also on the Rue de Faubourg Honore, not far from the house of Hermès. This 90cm silk twill is a limited edition in special colorways in support of Arts with the Disabled Association of Hong Kong, Helping Hand, and the Green Earth. I've only seen this in these 2 colorways and am especially attracted to the red gold one. French illustrator Florence Manlik is another longtime designer with the house, with this one coming from the 2019 season. It could be that this is just a restock of the US website and has been available in other parts of the world, but I'll mention it anyways because it recently cropped up here online. Manlik described her creation process of this as a semi-automatic free-flow movement in which this interlaced pattern is inscribed in the negative space of a botanical, multicolored background of flowers, plants, and rocks. In her own words, quote, floral and mineral elements, a sparkling, psychedelic celebration explored via a meandering path, slow, infinite, and hypnotic. This 90cm silk twill looks like it's available in at least 4 colorways. It is rather hypnotic, isn't it? And at least two of those colorways look to have contrast hems. This too might be a restock on the US website, since I think this design was introduced in 2020. But at any rate, it's inspired by the light of the far north during winter and early spring, when the light reflected off the snow and ice is particularly intense. For eye protection, the Inuits invented a long visor and goggles with either small holes or narrow slits, which only allowed a sliver of light to penetrate. So this design features a collection of 19th century visors and goggles against a decorative background typical of the Bering Strait region. The visors from Alaska, Kodiak Island, and the lower Yukon are decorated with ivory, Arctic duck tail feathers, or walrus whiskers, while the goggles in walrus ivory are between 500 and 2,000 years old. On the US website, this is available in at least 7 colorways in some fairly dramatic color combinations. This scarf, which I think was originally issued as a 70-centimeter silk twill in 2011, has a very interesting backstory. In 1898, Émile Maurice Hermès, grandson of the house's founder, traveled to Moscow and St. Petersburg, where he secured several orders from prominent Russian families, including that of Tsar Nicholas II and his wife. The highly symmetrical design features double and single buckles, braids, a trace buckle adorned with shells, and garters with the imperial crown. This wash scarf looks like it's available in at least 6 colorways, and if you haven't yet checked out the wash scarves, they are so soft. This silk twill 140 scarf was one I'd originally skipped over for some reason, but after looking at the mod shots, it's growing on me. If you look closely, these are tie designs all by Henri d'Origny, who worked with the house for over 3 decades. His designs are quite symmetrical, but the geometric way in which they've been laid out makes for a very asymmetrical scarf design and some interesting patterns and colors when tied. I believe the original issue was in 2010 as a 70-centimeter silk twill. So far, I've only seen this Galons scarf in 2 colorways, and it's intrigued me enough that I'd definitely like to see it in person. I think this is another reissue or restock from the 2019 season. This design is a reinterpretation of the Harnais de Cour design by the legendary Philippe Ledoux. The single harness from the original artwork is multiplied by 4 to create this patchwork of pairs facing off. This type of harness was regularly used in France until the mid-19th century and later reserved for use at galas and sovereign courts. A team of master craftsmen would have worked on sections of these gorgeous objets, braided manes with velvet or silk bands, adorned with embroidery and tassels, and creating saddle-stitch leather, metal cockades, and rosettes. On the Hermès website, they're showing this 140 silk twill in at least 4 colorways, all of which seem to have contrast hems. I've talked about this new design in a prior video, but wanted to mention this one because it looks like it's a completely new format. This is a 90 centimeter silk twill with a slit in the middle to wear as a poncho. I'm guessing you could probably still wear it in certain knots around your neck, but I haven't seen one of these in person yet. So if you've handled one, let me know in the comments. So there you have it, more of the Spring-Summer 2022 scarves from Hermès that are cropping up on their websites. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and let me know what you think in the comments. In future episodes, I'll share other scarf reviews, knot tutorials, and more, so be sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified of new videos. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time.